has bagged yet another leadership role under his belt. This comes after he was announced as the new CEO of the Arts and Culture Trust, an institution that advocates for the development of the arts, the culture, the heritage, and also to give a voice to creatives across the country. Now, Marcus is no stranger to the arts industry. His career as an artist dates back to the late 1980s, and that, of course, resulted in him spearheading the Gauteng Opera since 2013. And he joins me now in studio this morning. A very good morning to you, Marcus. Thank you so much, and welcome to Morning Live.
Well, thanks for having me. Good morning.
All right, indeed. And congratulations once again. And take us through this position. How did it come about?
It was actually quite quick, unexpected and completely unplanned. This all happened in a space of 3 weeks, actually.
Really?
Or more, about 2.5 weeks. I just received a call, asked if I would like to, be interviewed for this position. And I said, well, it's a great position to really look for. And I said, yes, okay, of course. And in a matter of a week, I was interviewed, and the same day was offered the position. So all this, last week, Wednesday, I was offered the position. So it's really quite, I've never done anything this quick before.
Well, it certainly was made for you.
Yes, I suppose so. And I'm very grateful that I was given the, I suppose, the task, and also quite humbled that they thought that I'd be the right person to carry on the wonderful work of Arts and Culture Trust.
All right. So when you said yes to this offer that they gave you, what came to your mind? What sort of vision did you have, the long-term goals for this institution?
It's the kind of question they ask you at interviews, right? Yeah.
well, this is an interview. One of those,
exactly. Yes. There's one thing that I really wanted to celebrate about ACT is that it's an institution that has very clear directives in what they want to do, and they've also moved over the years from being just a grant maker, or just giving people grants, to an institution that actually starts working on what they call programmatic approach to funding. And that excited me a lot. So when I started doing my research on the organization, I thought that is possibly part of what I can really add onto that. Take the programmatic approach of the funding and move it further, because my biggest ambition is to see South African arts being sustainable and not being dependent on government funding or even corporate funding, for that matter, that they become businesses in their own right. And ACT will allow me to actually realize that dream. Yeah.
Now, looking at the state that this institution currently finds itself in, what is it, if at all, that you'd like to change about this institution?
I currently do not want to change anything, because I think it is an institution that has really worked quite well. I am looking forward, though, however, to be inside the organization, to start learning how it really works and how it really makes it tick. And possibly that way can add a little bit more than what's already been done, because I think that the outgoing CEO has been driving a great vision for the past 7 years.
I'm actually glad you touched on the issue of funding, and we do know that the arts and culture industry is under immense pressure with regards to funding. So what is it? So what funding mechanisms are you going to adopt in order to take the institution forward?
Look, I think the Arts and Culture Trust has been traditionally an institution that looked at assisting in, not very much in a big way, not like the lottery or the government institution, but in a way that would make a difference to companies. For instance, the company that I am now leaving, Gauteng Opera, about 5 years ago, we received funding from ACT, which assisted the company in redefining itself. And it was quite valuable. So I would want to look at making that even much more of a stronger position for ACT, to say, how do we make companies redefine themselves? So funding should not be about, we give you 100,000 rands and you just go and do whatever you want to do with it. But it should be about, with this 100,000, what are you going to do that's going to make you, in a few years' time, not ask money from us?
So being an artist yourself, and you've been in the game for quite a while now, so what role does the Arts and Culture Trust play in the development of young and aspiring artists?
I think it's a huge role. Like I mentioned about the company, but also the ACT in itself really does give a lot of attention on young artists that are growing up, but most importantly in them being art managers. Because it is in the arts management that the arts will thrive in the future. It's not just in us being artists and going on stage and perform. And if we don't have the knowledge and the skills to run companies, to think like business people, then the arts will probably just disappear again. You know? So it is quite important to really invest in arts management in South Africa particularly.
All right, Marcus, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is a newly appointed CEO for the Arts and Culture Trust, Marcus Desando, speaking to us about his new position, of course, and his plans and the vision he wants the organization to take under his leadership. Well, morning.